Hi, welcome to this SimplyMaya Free Friday tutorial. In this Free Friday tutorial we're going to cover Maya's effects plugin for Shatter, specifically Solid Shatter. Now I decided to do this tutorial for a couple of reasons. The first one being that if you're new to Maya, dynamics can seem a little bit overwhelming, but this should be part of your workflow. So hopefully this will be a fun, easy introduction for some of you that have maybe never used dynamics before. The other reason is the importance of checking your script editor for errors, because to be honest I haven't used this effect in a long time, and when I came to use it I nearly drove myself mad for a reason that I'll show you now. So we're going to start off by shattering a sphere in Maya. So I'll just create a sphere, press W to move it up, R to scale it. Okay, it's about big enough for our purposes, and I'll go up to shading, smooth shade all, and in this case I'll leave the grid on. So there we have our sphere. Now this at first glance sounds quite simple. Basically you go to Effects, Create Shatter Effect, we'll bring up its option box. I'll just reset this. Oops. And here you can see we're under Solid Shatter. So shard count is how many shards it's going to shatter into. And this is what you want to happen after you've shattered it. You want to shatter into shapes, rigid bodies, soft bodies, etc. For the first time I'm just going to create this with the default values so we can take a look. And this, you'll see what's happened here is absolutely nothing. So if I press W to move this around, nothing has happened. And this is what happened to me when I was starting this tutorial, and I'd just like to highlight the importance of always checking your script editor when something like this happens, because now it's immediately apparent that if I want to shatter this sphere, please first edit delete by type history. And it's just something I'd forgotten. It's something we've all done a million times before, and I just thought I'd point it out. If you are having problems in Maya and you are new, remember to check your script editor, your error log. So let me just go now up to edit, delete by type history, and now when I hit create you can actually see it's shattered the object. So if I just delete my original object, and when you've done this, by the way, it will go into a different mode, so you'll need to take it back to object mode. And as you can see, I have my shattered shards here. Just move them about a bit so you can see, but they're quite smooth. Another thing you'll note is there seems to be a different material on the inside than the outside, and there actually is. So if we go up and take a look in the hypershade, you can see here that I have an inside material now. So if I turn that down a bit, you can see in my viewport that that is just corresponding to the inside of this material. Right, now the problem is we have very sharp edges here, and this is shattered, completely perfectly, which an object normally wouldn't do. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of these shards we've created. And if we look in the outliner, you'll see it here. It's been named Solid Shatter, so I'll just delete that. I'll go back and select my sphere, back up to Effects, Shatter, Solid Shatter, and this time what I want to do is, first, I don't want my original object, so I'm going to tell it to delete the original object. I actually want some jaggedness, and this is edge jaggedness, but you'll actually see in a second that it will also affect not only the edge but the entire inside of the shape. Okay, so here, and I'll put a little random seed on where my shards are going to be created. I'll leave it on 5 shards. And my post operation, I'm actually going to kind of do a very quick effect on this, so it looks like the sphere is actually exploded outwards. So I'm going to make this rigid bodies with collisions off. And when I hit create this time, you'll see now I don't have a sphere object because it deleted the original sphere I was working from. So if I go in here, again back to object mode, select one of the shards, when we look inside now, you can see that not only are the edges been made jagged, the whole object inside is much more realistic sort of shatter effect on it. Okay, you can see that. And again, if you go into your hypershade, it will have created an inside material for you. So Again, you can just apply any material you like to this. I'll just change the color so we can see that. Right, so what I want to do now is I actually want to take this, because it's now, if we look in the outliner, each shard has a rigid body attached to it. So I'm just going to Control Z this back into its original sphere shape. Now what I want to do is have it sort of explode outwards, and in order to do this I am going to insert some dynamic fields. The first one I'm going to insert is a radial field, so I'll just drop that in there, and you'll see its placement is here, so it will radiate force outwards in a spherical shape. So if I play this now, you'll see absolutely nothing will happen. This is because I haven't attached this radial field to these objects. So if I just select these objects and select my radial field and go up to Fields, Affect Selected Objects, you'll now see that when I hit play, my sphere starts to not quite look like it's blown up, but it will actually expand outwards in a sort of circle. There we go. And to get this to come back down to the ground again, I'm going to select all my objects, because with dynamics in Maya you can select your object, select your field, and then use Fields, Affect Selected Objects, or if your objects are actually selected, when you drop the field in, it will connect them automatically. So I'm going to select all these and drop in some gravity. And now when I play this, the shards will go up and eventually drop back down again. So there it is. That's the Solid Shatter in Maya. It's quite simple to use. There are some other options, but I'll leave for you to play around with those. And that's an introduction to how simple easy dynamics can be in Maya. So I hope some of you have found this useful. And if you've never used dynamics in Maya before, this is your opportunity to give it a go. Thanks for watching.